Pokeastuff.com and YouTube. So today I'm going to be showing you a tutorial on how to install Kali Linux, a full tutorial. I've done this recently, but I went through lots of errors and problems, so I wanted to create a tutorial so people didn't have the same problems I did. Most of them were just little things, but still it helps to have a tutorial to actually show how to install it. Kali Linux is basically Backtrack 6. It's by the same people, Offensive Securities. It's their newer operating system that basically replaces Backtrack. So Backtrack 5R3 was the last one they're ever going to make. From now on, they're going to use this operating system here, Kali Linux. So what you're going to need to do first is download, I would say, Oracle Box. So this is a tutorial on how to make a virtual machine, so a virtual box for the operating system to go into. I don't really have to explain what this actually does because you don't really need to. Just need to go to Downloads. And if you're on Windows, you go to Windows Host. You just click on the this one here. Just download the file, and it will probably take, well, my internet's relatively fast, so it won't take that long. And you just have to install that and have everything set up there. I'm not really going to show that because it's pretty self-explanatory. That's basically the easy part. So after you have installed Oracle Box, VirtualBox, you're then going to go to the Kali Linux website, which they've made. All of this is open source, so it's all free. Just go to Downloads. Because this is a hack-in operating system, I don't recommend putting in your name and your email. But you can if you want to, just so you get updates from the website. I don't think they don't associate what version they don't associate you downloading the ISO with what your name is in your email. That's just so that they have your name in your email so they can send you an email telling them what's happening. I'm just going to be showing you how to install this on a normal PC, but with the new operating system you can actually do a lot more things. You can install this on a Chromebook, Samsung, Raspberry Pi. If you haven't heard of that, it's a really neat device. It's, I think, $40 or $30. You can just integrate it into a lot of things. It's a mini computer, basically. So what they did, Offensive Security, is they made Kali Linux available for all these new devices, which was really hard to do in Backtrack 5. Okay, so you just want to click No Thanks, or you can type in your name. No thanks, just want to download. And you come up to this screen here. There's only one version app so far. This is the 32-bit version. I'm going to go for the 64-bit. You're going to go for these only one to select. The mini ISO is just, I believe it's just for smaller computers like this one, but I wouldn't click that if you're just going to install this onto a normal Windows or Mac PC. Windows or Mac computer. ISO images, and I would use torrent, but you can use direct, it doesn't really matter, and you just click download, and then it starts in your bottom corner right here. So I'm just going to cancel that because I have the disk as well, but you just have to wait for that to download. It'll take a couple of minutes. It's at 38 there, and my internet's pretty fast like I said before. So I'm just going to minimize this. And you have the file right here. So this is what it's going to look like when you download the 64-bit AMD version of it. You're just going to open it up here, and you have the ISO and a text file. Don't worry about the text file. All you need is the ISO. It's about 2 gigs. It's, as you can probably see, it's about 2 gigs smaller than Backtrack, so it's a lot more compressed. It doesn't have as much fluff and crap built into it as Backtrack. It's more compact, and it's built exactly for what you want. I usually dual boot this install on my laptop. Right now I'm on my desktop, but I usually dual boot install Backtrack on my laptop. But I uninstalled this to install Kali Linux, and I found that it actually integrated a lot easier with my laptop than Backtrack. I had to change a lot of features in Backtrack and add a lot of random programs that it didn't support just so that it would work. In Kali Linux, everything worked perfectly the first time when I installed it. The wireless card worked, the graphics were worked. I have a 14-inch screen, which usually Backtrack would get really confused about, and it would make everything bigger than it should be. I might show a picture. No, I don't really need to, of what it looked like before, but I was just pointing out that it integrates everything really well into the operating system that you need. Okay, so now that you have VirtualBox installed and you have the ISO image, you're just going to open up VirtualBox. So I'm going to just open it up on my other screen. It's right here. So I already have it installed here, but I'll make a new one. So click New, and you can call this whatever you want. I'll just call this Kali 2, just because I want it. It's going to be Linux, and it's going to be Debian, 64-bit. This is the operating system that they based it off of. Click Next, and I will give it, I'll give it 4 gigs of RAM. You can give it 1 or 2. I wouldn't really recommend anything lower than that. It's just too slow for me. But it really matters how much RAM you have in your system. But VirtualBox gives a little scale here of how much you should put. When it goes into the orange zone, that usually means you should kind of watch out. You shouldn't really put in here. You'll see problems with your Windows machine or Mac machine when you put into this zone here, because it's using too much RAM. That RAM's allocated to your Windows machine or Mac machine. So I would just leave it in the green zone. So 4 gig is good for me. So for 4,000 megabytes, next. I want to create a new virtual hard disk, and you want it to be the virtual disk image. Click Next. Dynamically allocated means that it increases as it fills up. It says right here. Fixed sizes so that, well, it fixes the size. It says right here. Fixed sizes so that it can't expand and you have it as one spot. If you have a limited amount of space on your hard drive, I would recommend fixed size, but because I have a lot of space on mine, I'll just click dynamically allocated. Click Next, and I will give it 10 gig. I would give yours 20, but just because this is a tutorial, I don't need to create a hard drive that's large. That is that large. You're just going to click Create, and it creates the operating system for you, but right now it's just a blank computer. It doesn't actually know what it's going to base itself off of, so you click Settings next, and you get this little nice Settings Windows pop-up. Advanced, and you can install these later. It's pretty simple. Actually, I'll try. I'll set these to the bidirectional so that you can drag stuff that's in your clipboard in and out, and you can drag stuff in and out of the operating system between the two, which is actually pretty cool. You can put a description of what you want in here. Okay, then go to System, and it says the RAM right here. I would set the CD image first, then the hard drive next, and you can just unclick the floppy disk because no one uses a floppy disk anymore. Processor, I would put 3, or it matters how many you have. Still, make sure it's in the green zone. Leave this to 100%. Acceleration, just leave those to their defaults. Video memory, just drag it anywhere really. It doesn't make that much of a difference. You can click, it's 3D. If you noticed at the bottom, when I clicked 2D video acceleration, it said not optimal settings detected. I would just listen to the manager and just click whichever one. If you click both and one of them says not optimal, just deselect the one that made it say not optimal. So right now I just have 3D acceleration. Now this part here, you're going to click on the empty CD little icon. Then you're going to head over to this part here and click on this little CD icon beside the attributes CD DVD drive, then the secondary master. So this button right here. And you're going to try and find this disk image. So I'm just going to head over to my desktop, which is where I put it for the tutorial. And right here, so just double click on that. So now it's highlighted. Go to audio, don't really do anything with that. For network adapter, I would do bridged adapter. If you do bridged, it means it connects directly to the network. It doesn't have to funnel through your operating system. So if you want to use Metasploit, which I'm going to show you how to set up on this operating system as well, because you have to do some, you have to just do a couple of commands. It's pretty simple, but you have to do a couple of commands to get it working, which I'll show you. So just do bridged adapter, and serial port, don't need that, USB, and shared folders. You can do this as well. Shared folder is just so that you can have a folder that you share with the operating system. But if you have the drag and drop, you don't really need that. But this is where you just click plus, and you'd find a folder in your, find a folder in your original operating system that you'd want to share with this one, and whatever you drag into that operating system will show up on this one. And you just click auto mount, and then the name of the folder, whatever you want to call it in your operating system, and you click OK, and it should mount. I believe you need to install the VirtualBox Manager ISO into the operating system, but I'll show you that. It's okay. So after you have everything set up here, just click OK. Just make sure you have the Kali Linux 1.03 or whatever version it is when you're watching this. Select it into this column here, and click OK. And you'll notice all your settings are in this window, so you can see everything that you've done. Description at the bottom. Okay, so when you have everything set up, just click Start. And you'll pop up with this window here. So what you want to do is you can go into Live if you want. You can install it through the Live system. But you don't need to. You can just go to Graphical Install and click Enter. So right now I'm just using my up and down keys just to get around. Yeah, you can't use your mouse, so just use the keys on the keyboard. Click Enter. And just wait for it to do its things. And that pops up here. So I'm just going to make this full screen. If you notice the screen's pretty small, I can show you how to change that after. But right now we're just going to install everything, and then I'll show you how to change it. Let's go to English, so click Continue, because I do speak English. I am in Canada. Just select your region, so if you're in the United States, the United Kingdom, etc., or other. I'm not really sure what happens if you click other. Actually, we can see that. Then it just tells you to select your location. It's more generic if you click other. But I am in Canada, so I'll click Continue. Then I have American English keyboard. Continue, detects the hardware. Just wait for it to load. I would make sure that the computer that you're running this on is connected to the internet. Because in one part of the install, it needs to connect to the internet to download some files for the install. So you can also plug in portable wireless cards into your computer that VirtualBox will then ask you if you want to funnel it through the operating system that you have running. So if you have a wireless card that you plug into your computer and you want Kali Linux to use it, VirtualBox will pop up and ask you if you want to do that. You click OK, and then it will appear as a wireless card on Kali Linux operating system. So host name for this operating, so this will be what we want to call the computer. So I will call this Pokeastuff. Click Continue. And domain name, you can just leave this blank. Just click Continue. Now root password, I'll just type in a password here. Very secure, I'm going to call it password. But actually make sure here that your password cannot be found in a word list. Like a word list as in password would be definitely in any word list that is legit. I would choose something like, try not to do names, but something with a lot of random characters and numbers that doesn't make any sense to anyone except for you. And if you have lots of random characters and letters and numbers, then it shouldn't be in any word list, and you should be fine. So just make it a something. Don't make it a password that you've already used on other accounts, because that's pretty not very secure. So just make it a random password that people can't guess. So click continue. I am in Eastern time. This is just your time zone. So if you don't know what time zone you're in, you just have to search that up on the internet. Pretty easy. Just go to Google, type in your location, and then type in time zone, and it should tell you if you're Eastern, Central, Mountain, Pacific, etc. Click continue. So this part here, if you wanted to do dual boot install, you actually had to click on the live CD part of the Kali Linux. I'll show you that after. What you would have to do to make it work. But I'm going to show you that after I actually installed Kali Linux. But you don't need to do that when you want to do dual boot. It's okay. I'll show you after. So you can just use guided, use entire disk, because this is a portable little computer you have in your other computer, so it thinks it is a computer, so you can just use the entire disk. It should be 10 gig, 10.7. Just click continue, and yeah, all files in one partition. And it shows right here, swap space. It makes its own swap space. You don't need to worry about this. And everything, you can, this is a new feature for Backtrack 6 or Kali Linux. You can encrypt the volume that you're doing, so you can encrypt the hard drive. In Backtrack, you weren't able to do this. You were only able to install TrueCrypt and make tiny encrypted little files that you could store stuff in, which Kali Linux does have TrueCrypt, but this part here, you can encrypt the files, but this will take a while, so just for tutorial's sake, I won't encrypt the drive. But for the encryption, you just click yes, and then it'll ask you for password you want to do, or to encrypt it first. But it's pretty self-explanatory, most parts of this tutorial. Just click finish. Just double click on this if you want. Changes, click yes if this is what you want to do. It created its own swap space, so just because it was guided, it does basically everything for you. Just click yes. You want to make changes to the disk, continue, and it will start installing the operating system. So this will take a couple of minutes. I think max 30. It may take around 20. But I'm going to pause the video and then come back when it is almost done. Okay, I'm back, so it's just about to finish. So this actually took about 3 minutes. So this part here, you have to, very important, you click yes. If you click no, that means that you can't install any updates from the Kali Linux servers, which you really want them, because then stuff will stop working and you have no way to update them. So click yes, continue. Proxy, if you need to connect to a proxy through a proxy to the outside world, then you would type that in here. You would type in IP address, it says right here, the user, password, host, and an IP address. It's pretty simple, right? When you just remove the little brackets. And actually don't know what those are called. Just click continue, and it's going to be trying to receive the files here. So this is when you need to connect to the internet to make sure that you're connected, because it's actually reaching out to the internet and grabbing files to update. You still need to update after this. I'm not really sure why it does this, but it has its reasons, I'm sure, probably. And then it does the same thing again. So Kali Linux, I believe, has all of the same tools as Backtrack, and it might have actually a little bit more since some stuff came out. So it has all the goodies like Reaver and Aircrack. It has Wireshark, all that stuff. And since it's a new operating system, the tutorials that are out now are recent and new, so there shouldn't be any problems with them, which is also pretty great, including this one, because actually the operating system's been out for a while. I think I started seeing tutorials come out in April, around that time. Actually, I'm not sure when the operating system came out, though. But never late than never. I probably said that wrong. Oy. I'm not really sure why this part takes the longest. Sorry, it doesn't take the longest. I'm not sure why this part takes so long. But I'll pause it in a couple of seconds if it doesn't finish. Okay, I'm just going to pause it and come back after this part's done. It shouldn't take that long, though. Okay, so that part just finished, and now it's installing the grub bootloader. If you have, so what this does, it just points, it installs to the master boot loader, which is to basically tells the computer where to look for the operating system and what operating system to boot into. So, like it said before, if you have, it seems it's the only operating system, so that's correct, it's the only operating system. In this part of the install, if you're doing dual boot, it should see your other operating system. If it doesn't, I wouldn't click yes to this, because then it won't be able to see your other operating system and you won't be able to access it. The way to fix that is, well, it's different with each operating system. Either for Windows, you'd have to get the Windows disk and go into the command prompt through the Windows disk and change the master bootloader through there. For Mac, I've never had to do that before. So if this is all correct, if you are dual booting into this operating system, like I'm going to show you after this is finished installing, make sure that the operating system is there. If this is the only one, like if you're following this tutorial to the letter and this is the only operating system you have here, then just continue and click yes, because this is the only operating system being installed. And then this will take a few more seconds. I also believe that this install is a lot faster than the install of Backtrack. I remember that this used to take a really long time. Also, the updating is also improved. Instead of updating several times, you only have to update, I believe, once, and it updates everything, which is pretty nice because it gets kind of repetitive and annoying to keep typing the apt get update time and time again. So after this is complete, it automatically removes the CD here. See, it says empty, so if you notice right there, sorry, went away, it says secondary master empty. So if you remember before, that's where we told VirtualBox to look for the ISO. So when it was installing, that would say the Kali Linux 1.0.3 64 AMD. Okay, but now it's empty, so you don't have to actually do anything either. Just click continue. It's going to finish the install. Make sure that do not turn off the computer, just let it do its thing. I did that before because I kind of got frustrated, and there's a part here where you actually have to type in, you would think, the password that you put in, but no, you have to type in Tor, which was the default password for Backtrack. I'm not really sure the point of this part, but they made the operating system, so I guess they can do what they want. Let's just wait for this to remove the live packages. And usually you would see this part moving, the bar moving, but for some reason their animation doesn't do that. It just skips forward once in a while. So this actually isn't frozen. It just has to run its course. So again, I'll pause this in a couple of seconds if it doesn't finish. Yeah, so I'm just going to pause it, and I'll come back when it continues. Alright, so it just finished, and it just finished everything. I don't really understand what happened the first time when I did it. Just have to click on the box, and then click, oh, okay, it does it automatically. Because that's the only operating system, you don't have to touch anything, it just starts automatically. And on my laptop, this automatically changed the screen size to fit the one, oh, okay, we'll go a little bigger. That's a little better. I'll show you how to change to fit the screen size that you want. It's a pretty simple command. You just have to do in command prompt. For Mac, I'm pretty sure it's the same command. You just have to do it through terminal though. Because it's called Pokeastuff. The username is root. It's always root. And the password is the password you put in. So mine is password. Click login. And it will take a couple of seconds. And boom, you're done. You just install the operating system. So you notice here you have all the accessories. You have a few ones. You have TrueCrypt right here that I was talking about. You have a calculator, which I don't remember that was there before. You can do Arduino, I believe it's called. Programming. Graphics. Internet. Iceweasel is a new browser they have. I've used it. Great. I've used it a lot. It's actually pretty nice compared to Firefox, which had some errors with JavaScript and Flash and stuff like that, but this one seems to work pretty well. Right here you have normally that would be the Backtrack here, but it's Kali Linux, and you have your top choices, which is pretty useful. Here's the aircraft, and it's kind of gives you a better idea of which ones they think are the most useful. So if you don't know what some of them are, you just click on it, like if you don't know what Hydra is, just click on it, and you can just learn about it. It's one of the nice things about having an operating system with all these cool little toys. So just click exit out of there. So before I do any of the update things that I was going to show you, because I'll have PyCrust here, so you can program in Python. I was going to show you right here. Yep, I believe this is... No. Is it this one? No. 1 second, sorry. It's called a specific name. Preferences. There we go. Parted partition editor. If you wanted to dual boot, what you would do is you would plug in, you would tell VirtualBox, or on your computer, you would boot into the live CD, and you come up with this screen. And then what you do, you go to the file that I just showed you, go to the application system tools, administration, and click on this. This would open here. And if you had a partition set aside for Kali Linux, you would click on that partition. So let's say this one here. You would right click and click resize and move. It would be highlighted here, but because this is the actual maybe click on this one. No. No. Okay, I can't click on any of those, but you'd right click here, and resize and move, and there a little window would pop up, and what you'd have to do is just kind of play around with it until you can click continue. And when you can click continue, this little arrow right here will pop up. Just click it, apply all operations, and then what you can do is go to file, right here, and there should be something that says install Kali Linux. That's removed because I already installed it, but there should be something around here that says install Kali Linux. You click on that, and it would get you into the window, the graphical interface, the GUI that we were in before when we wanted to install everything. Like it would ask you for the language and stuff like that. So to go over that again, System Tools Administration, gparted, right click, resize and move. Then you would resize, then you would play around with it until you can click continue in the file. You'll understand what I mean when you actually open it. You'd have to change, I think, you'd have to click one up arrow until you can just click continue, and then it should work. Click continue, then click apply all operations, then close that. Applications, System Tools, and it should be install Kali Linux around here. Alright, then you'd follow that tutorial. Yep. And if you have any problems, just comment in the description and I'll try and help you. So from here, what I would do is I'll click the terminal, and you already root, so you don't have to do any sudo commands or anything like that. Yeah. So what you type in is just app get update. You don't have to do it this way, but I just like it more in the terminal. And this is the part that's going to connect all the resources. Then you click app get upgrade. Then it should have a lot of stuff you can upgrade. So this would be in different sections. In Backtrack, you'd have to do this maybe a couple of times to get all of the files. In Kali Linux, you just have to do it once. So I'd click yes and just let it download and install. But I'm not going to do that because I don't really need to. And then after that is done, I would just do the apt-get. You see, it even told me up there in the top right corner. I'd do the apt-get update again. And then after that finishes, what I'd do is apt-get this upgrade. So just once in a while, maybe every couple of days, just do this. Click enter, and then you should have a lot of, even more, or usually it's not as much, not as many install files. But that's how you would update Kali Linux. Okay, so now if you, let's see, if you want to go for Metasploit framework. So this is what I showed you. For some reason, they made it so it doesn't work. Is it going to update? Okay, well, I'll just let it update, and I'll show you after, because part of the tutorial is showing you how to update the framework. So I'm just going to pause this, and when it finishes, I will come back. Okay, so it's just about to finish. Then it's going to have to install everything. I can make this full screen. Also, what you can do is change the color of the backgrounds. I thought might be kind of cool. You just do colors. Let's see, text color. We can make it green, because who doesn't like green? And make the background black and a solid color, so you can't see through. I think it looks pretty cool. So it's just finishing here. And there we go. Okay, so from here, if you try to, let's say, start Armitage, which is a pretty good program. If you've never heard of it, you should definitely check it out. It's basically a GUI interface for running exploits from Metasploit, but not theirs. So you just click connect, and what you find, so you click yes, it's going to start it for you. And this usually happens. It usually goes to about here, and that stops, and it starts connecting to the database and everything. But if you'll notice, once it continues, almost. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot easier. It creates it for you. that failed the first time I did it, but in case it happens to anyone else, I'm just going to close this. I'm just going to clear. And in case this does fail, it says it cannot connect to the database, which it said before. So just going to type in this, so service host. Let's go start. Okay, so that's probably going to say it's going to start that. And then start. Then it's going to start Metasploit. So this is if what I just didn't work with Armitage or Metasploit. You'll know because it can't find when it can't find a database, you can't run any exploits. So you're going to start that. It's going to say it's already started because this works. And then you're going to start the MSF console. And this will take a couple of 30 seconds. Probably less. But really, after you do all the updates and everything, basically everything should work. You have Kali Linux installed. I might make another tutorial on how to dual boot. That might be interesting. Okay, so now from here, you just want to make sure that the Postgresql is connected. So the service that I was showing before, that I just activated, is connected. So this means that it is. So you want this to come up. If this doesn't come up, I would just go back to the parts that I just showed to make sure that you typed everything in right and you didn't get any errors. So from in the Metasploit console, you're going to type in update rc.d Postgres. Oops. Enable. And that's what you want to see. Then you're going to type in Metasploit. Enable. Then you just click exit. You get out of that, and then you should be done. Everything should work fine. Then you can to update the Metasploit console, what you do is type in MSF, which is the Metasploit. Just basically, it's the same for everyone. It's either Metasploit, MSF console, or Metasploit. What I'm going to show you now, update. So this just updates the console. The framework with the new juicy exploits. No updates are available. Just click clear and do whatever you want. Exit. Directory you're in. It runs just like a normal Linux system with all the same commands and everything. Then you can go into applications. You can go into like system settings up here. Change the background. Do whatever you want. So I don't think I have to show you anything else. Everything should work fine. If you have any problems, just comment in the description, and I'll try and help you. If you like this tutorial, ooh, that's pretty. If you like this tutorial, click. Oh, I forgot to tell you. That's interesting right there. So I'll show you how to install the VMware, so you can do the drag and drop and stuff like that. So you go to Devices, and install guest add-ons, and what it does, it automatically mounts ISO image, and then you can just click Run. Okay, we have to do this then. Double click on the CD. I don't know what it's talking about. It's right there. Wait, okay, I might have to do this a different way. media. Is that what it's called? Oh, how am I supposed to? So CD media, would that work? Yeah. Okay. Sudo. Still permission denied. That's not very nice. So this is substitute user. I already am the substitute user. This is interesting. So I'm gonna try that again. Auto run. Dot. Sh. Huh. Okay, well usually this installs automatically. I'm not really sure what the problem is at the moment. I'm just gonna try and figure this out, and then I'll come back to you guys. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so I'm just about to try something else. So, VBox. I'll just copy it. Select this file here. Copy. Paste. There we go. Okay, so what I did here, oh, that was fast. Okay, so what I did here, so you're gonna be in this file. So if you just click, oops. So you're gonna be like this, you're gonna click CD/media, then you're gonna go to media, and then you're gonna just see CD-ROM and CD-ROM 0. Just click CD, so this goes into the directory of the CD-ROM, then just ls to see what's in the directory, and you're gonna type in sh to run the auto prompt, then the VBox, just copy this, what I just did before, and then paste here, and then click enter, and it should run. And that's going to install the add-ons. Just clear this, and to restart, because you need to make sure that it boots into the Kali Linux with these new add-ons, just click restart, shutdown -R for restart, and now, and it's going to reboot the system. And now if you're on Windows, because I'm running this on a Windows computer, just going to click the Start button on your Windows machine. Then in the bottom search column, you're going to type in CMD. Click Enter. And then you'll open up with this little box here. You can just let that run in the background. What you're going to do is you're going to try and find the install file. You're going to find the directory of where VirtualBox installed. So the default is CD program files or echo, yeah, then dir for command prompt to see what's in the directory, so VirtualBox, so cd VirtualBox. If you spell anything wrong, this won't work. So you just have to make sure you're spelling everything right. And now from here, we're going to type in is VBox manage, and then control VM. Type in that you're going to do little quotations here. You're going to type in the exact name. So mine right here, it says Kali 2. Then from here, I believe the command is mode set video hint, and then you're going to type in what your display is. So what's the size? So I'm just going to right click on the desktop and click screen resolution, and it says right here that my screen resolution is 1920 by 180. So I'll just close that. I will find the command prompt. There it is. So you're going to type in here is 1920 space by 180, and you're going to do 32 right after that. Click enter, and I typed something wrong. Set video mode hint. Ugh. Set video So set video mode hint, enter, and it's going to change this. So I'm just going to restart this again. You need to have the box running for this to work, but it should change the resolution to fit your screen. Unless I did something wrong. I'm just going to minimize this. I'll just make this full screen so you can see. So it's VBox Manage, Control VM, the name of your virtual machine. I'm not sure if it should work. It worked with other operating systems that run Linux as well. I will see if this actually works. 1 second. So root, password. If not, then you should be able to go into the display settings and change it to the right resolution. Yeah, this isn't going to work. So, system settings, display. Okay, well you can make it bigger. It's a little bit better. Keep this configuration. That's quite annoying. It should work. Detect display, maybe that'll work. Or not. But this, for when you're like this, you can do view and switch to full screen. Okay, well, just switch the wrong side of my computer. 1 second. It switches to your main monitor. So I don't have that recording at the moment, but you just click full screen mode. Hopefully what I just did will work for you, but that's what should happen unless I do this. 32 should be 18. No, I'm not sure it's popping in. So hopefully that works for you. I would try it. It usually works. I'm not sure what's happening with this time. But just to change the resolution back to whatever fits your screen, let's go with display. And this should work better for me. Yeah, I don't have to scroll as much down. Okay, so this is how you install Kali Linux. Then you can just do whatever you want now. Office, keep note programming, Backtrack, Linux, all this stuff here. You have Reaver, all that stuff. This is actually a pretty good program that most people don't. Fern Wi-Fi Cracker, little symbol will pop up here. What it does, it's an automatic system that cracks Wi-Fi's. So because this is a virtual box and this is connected via an Ethernet cord, I can't run this program because it doesn't have a wireless card. To run this program, you need a wireless card. But if you have one, you just click here, and then you would scan for access points. Then it would detect which wireless points you found, and you can do different attacks on them. So just to close this, you'd do Alt F4. For some reason, there's no exit on it. There's no close button. But yeah. Wireless attacks, password, online. Also, if you notice, you have with crack here. Very good cracking program, but all you need is tables to go with it. What this does, I think I've showed a tutorial on my website on how to use this. Yeah, I did. You just need to download the tables that go with it, but if you have a hash, let's say a Windows hash, you just load it in here, load encrypted SAM. That's what you load encrypted SAM, which is from a Windows machine, and you click crack if you've loaded tables, which are just have a bunch of hash files on them and what the hashes represent. So if, let's say, 394Z92367 equals password. If the person has that hash, the 396478892 hash, it would come up here. It would scan the tables, which you would load in here. This is what they're called. You would load that in, and then it would find the password here. This is where it would put it. It's a pretty useful program. And you have a bunch of other ones here. Actually, I'll show you a good sniffing program. Just why not? That I actually heard of recently. So this is it kind of looks like Firefox, the Ice Weasel. This is the home page it opens up to. But what I want you to do is go to, I think it's code.google.com/p. So is it B? Subterfuge, I believe. Yeah. So this is a sniffer, man-in-the-middle attack. What it does is you connect it to a network, and it sits there and it just watches it. Watches the traffic go in through your network, and if any of the text, let's say someone logs into Facebook or something like that, it would show up there if the connection isn't encrypted. Go to downloads, and you can just get the beta downloads here. Just click on it, and you click that file, and save to desktop, sure. Click save. Just let it download. Okay, so it's all done. You can just go into command prompt here. Terminal. And search for it. So it's right there. Just go tar/x/f. So x extracts it. F is the file name. So it tells you what file you want to extract. So just copy this here. Copy, paste. There. Just search again. So now go into that file. Oh, what did I spell wrong? There we go. So scan it. And what you have to do is just do /install.py. And this little window will pop up here, and you can do full install. Click the install there, and it will install everything. You just need Python, but it comes automatically with Kali Linux, so everything should be fine. Let's just wait a couple seconds. Now installation complete. I noticed this didn't work for some reason. You can't. You just have to exit and then exit this. Click clear. We don't need this window open anymore. Just exit. What you can do if you want is just go back. cd ... goes back in the directory, and you can delete those two files. You can just usually do rm, which is remove, and then type in a file, but because I want to remove a directory as well, I have to do the R, which just means don't ask, just remove whatever I tell you. Actually, no, that's not the actual. Oops. R removes directories. Okay, so it actually removes directories. There's a rm that removes the directory, but if you just want to do rm, tac R, and then type in the subterfuge and the other file. Paste. Click enter, and it removes it. You search the directory again, it's not there. Okay, so now let's start that program. It's going to start it. You just type in mf. So it updates everything. And you just leave it running. So it runs the server. So you can now go into Iceweasel. And you're going to type in 7.1. This is your local host. Type in your local host. It goes to Subterfuge. And right here you have whatever you want. For an example, I'll go into Another computer, new window. There you go. So I'm going to go over here. I'm just going to go to Facebook. So I'm going to go to Facebook, but it's not going to be encrypted. So facebook.com. I'm just going to log out of mine. Log out. So watch. I'm going to type in Pokeastuff. Sorry. First you have to click Start. It's going to ask you for default auto configuration. Just click OK. And it's going to be initializing. And then the little green bar will come up here. And it's going to start. Just wait until this goes away. Come on. Okay, I don't know what its problem is. Let's try and do... Let's try this again. Click Start. It is a beta, so there are going to be some errors. There we go. So you just have to go into modules and click the credentials, which it wants you to scan. So right now I'm in a non-encrypted. So when I mean encrypted, I mean either it's using the web browser, is using SSL to encrypt whatever link you're on, or it's not using HTTPS. So that's the hyper. I can't remember the actual definition of it, so I'm not going to say it. www.facebook.com. Alright, now I'm just going to type in Pokeastuff. This actually works surprisingly well at gmail.com. Password, it's going to be password123. Click enter, and I just ran that through, and boom, comes up here. So it tells you the date, so the source where it came from, what the username was, and what the password is. So you can just turn this on at basically anywhere and grab the passwords. I don't recommend it because it's illegal, and one of my parents is laughing in the background. It's illegal, so you probably shouldn't be doing it. So you have been warned. You can get arrested. You can get multiple felonies for doing this. I'm not sure. It's probably different in different countries and states if you are in the U.S. and in provinces it's probably different. But only do this unless you have permission from the person you are doing this to, because then it's illegal. So then if you want to clear so that's Subterfuge. I just want to show you a cool program that I just found. So you click stop and it just stops running, stops searching the network. And there you go, so you have the username and password. I think you can export it. Export data. Yeah. I'm not sure where it exports to, though. I'd have to figure that out. Maybe no, it doesn't tell you. That's very nice of it. Click exit, and it says right here everything that's happening. Because you ran this in the terminal, you have to start the server in the terminal. It says everything that's happening. It takes up a lot. It does a lot of things, though. Takes up a lot of space. So just click Control-C to stop the server from running, and you're all good. I might make another tutorial of other cool things you can do. This is just what I've found recently on Cal Linux. That's pretty cool. Alright, so if you like this tutorial, click the like button. If you want to see some more, click subscribe and come to my website. If you have any comments, comment below, and otherwise, thanks.